Hello again, YouTube. This is Hidden Angel, or pretty much J. Lee Myers, as it would be. Okay, this is my second, to continue off my little life story to you guys. This is life episode number 2 of my life story. And yeah, last video I pretty much was telling you guys about a lot of the medical stuff and abuse I had gone through a lot as a kid, and since that's still a bit of a relevance, guess this next topic is going to be based around somewhat more of all that, but to an extent. I wouldn't say completely, but as I said, to an extent, almost. So, knowing me, the nerd of nerds, Mr. Gerd, geeky nerd, or Gerd, or whatever you'd say. It's my own word, don't judge me. Gerd, just like awesome sauceness, awesome sauceosity, awesomeness, or just awesome sauce, or awesome sauceosity. My words, my vocabulary. Bro man, bro ham. Yep, that's me. Mr. Creation of Vocabulary. But anyway, as I was saying, knowing me, you probably wouldn't think I'm that type who doesn't ever do sports, but on an ironic note, I actually did do a good bit of sports when I was younger. The main sport I actually started out with was actually, believe it or not, baseball. And I started when I was 7 years old, and I actually, ironically, had my 2 first best friends ever met because of baseball. And the rest of the baseball team, well, I'll get to that here shortly. I had played baseball for about 4 to 5 years, and within that time I was still learning, of course, and I was still somewhat ditzy, so I really didn't understand certain things. And there was one time when I was on my first game ever, I hit the ball and I just ran and stopped, and I didn't even go on the base, and I thought I had to wait for the guy to catch the ball for me to go on the base. So yeah, that was a interesting moment for me, and everyone's like, why did he do that? And the coach is like, Jay, you're supposed to go on it before he caught it. I'm like, oh, okay. So, yeah, that's a bit of my childhood adventure for you guys for that. As I said, within time, I was starting to learn. My first best friend, his name was Wyatt. And let me say, me and Wyatt were like this. We were inseparable. And we were that close of buddies. We pretty much said anything pretty much to each other as kids, and we both loved Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, I remember there was one Christmas Eve, or a couple days before Christmas, he was like the other kid of the family. So when the dual discs first came out for Yu-Gi-Oh!, the actual, out of the first generation where they had the dual discs, they had came out with that, and my mom had gotten one of them for him, and then she had gotten the other one for me, but I didn't know anything about mine until later on. So he got one, I got one, and we just abused the crap out of them, and we just like duel each other like crazy. It was fun times, good times, good times. And second best friend I had met, you guys have seen him and heard him in my videos, and you've heard me rant and talk about him to a somewhat extent. Mr. Tyler, who likes to know himself as Waldo or Juan or Carlos. He gets very racial offensive sometimes, but he tries to be funny about it. He's not doing it on purpose. Okay, I take that back. He is doing it on purpose. He just likes making a lot of Mexican jokes and so forth, and I'm just like, why on my channel? Why, dude? Why? So, he's a nut. He's a treat. But Anyway, back to my sports story. So after a while, I had started getting good, and then after the fact, being me, that weird, awkward kid who was homeschooled because of my kidney stuff, to the point my kidneys were bad. If I ever caught chicken pox, my immune system was weak. I could die from it. Yeah, it was, or is still somewhat that bad. So anyway, my glasses almost came off. So anyway, as I was saying, being that awkward guy who really didn't know how to interact with other kids that well, I was always the main guy who got picked on. I can remember every other person that bullied me. The list starts off: Damon, Nathan, Hunter, Cody, Jesse, Dinah, Zach, and just pretty much 90% of the team like bullied me and made fun of me because, of course, long hair, because I had really long hair and I liked it and I looked like a girl, unfortunately, because of when I was going through my relapse stuff. I got made fun of it a lot, and I was a little heavy set, not by my choice, because of the medicine, because I gained a lot of weight because of the frickin' prednisone, which screws me up and makes me feel like I really want to drop dead like a sick dog, or be put down like a sick dog. Prednisone and me don't mix. It destroys me. It ruins me and kills every ounce of me. So anytime when a doctor says you're going on prednisone, I'll be like, nope, I'll drop dead first before I take that medicine. I hate it that much, and it makes me that miserable. I will not function right, and I will not be in the best mental state and medical state if I'm ever in have prednisone taken. And yes, prednisone is a steroid, but it's not the best type of steroid you'd expect. It makes you hungry as a horse. It makes you sick as a dog, as I said, and you're just constantly hungry to the point you're getting stomach pains because you can't take it anymore. And you just want to frickin' cut out your gut. And that's what it feels like. You have knives in your gut on the inside trying to poke out of you. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. But anyway, so I was saying, the 90% of the team bullied me, and I only had like a few good friends that were actually nice to me on the team. And even the coaches did not appreciate the fact that their sons were messing with me also. And there was actually one time it got to the point where I about stormed off and wanted to go home because I was pretty much crying because they were being asinine to me. And the main head coach of the team got really mad and made it to a point to not do that to me for the rest of that game and for whenever else. He pretty much asked if anybody's messing with me, I can play whatever position I wanted. I was like, what? But it was one of those they were looking out for me type of states. And also, as I said on baseball, I got bullied. And there was another, and ironic enough, my team did not like the fact that this other kid did this to me. Probably because it was dirty and it was cheating. I was playing one game down at a local, or near a local convenience store below Oglebay Park Hill. It is located in Wheeling, West Virginia. Oglebay Park is very popular. But anyway, there's a little convenience store down the hill, and right beside it is a little ballpark and a park itself with like swings, ladders, etc., etc. So I was playing there, and it was like during the end of the game or whatever, I hit the ball or whatever, or one of my teammates hit the ball, and I was running from base to base, and the coach was telling me to go back, come here, go back. I was running from this kid, and he just like shoved me to the ground, and I just started wussing and whining, pretty much. I wouldn't say wussing. It really hurt, and I was just crying a good bit because of how sensitive my bones were and stuff, and I was going through medical stuff since then. So of course that was not a smart move, and I think his parents and his coach both chewed his ear out for that, and even my coaches were not happy that the kid was that low to do that to me. So I think he got his end meet there. So other than that, I still got picked on by my team, of course. And later on in the years, I actually became one of the better players to the point where they would bully me. I got so angry I wanted to do something to them. I took my frustrations out on the frickin' baseball to the point where I was the only guy on my team who ever got the most home runs and RBIs, and I was really good when it came to hitting the ball. And just, well, I wasn't, I mean, I'm decent when it comes to catching, but at that age, you're really not that accurate. Certain ones were, but some of them just caught specific ones on purpose just to be a frickin' show-off, and that just really disgusted me. I can't stand people that are show-offs. I mean, you can show off to an extent, but if you're doing it just to be a jerk, no. That don't get it with me. I don't care who you are. That doesn't get it with me. But there was that. And I played, as I said, for baseball for about 4 to 5 years. So I was probably 12 or 13 when I stopped playing because I just couldn't deal with them being jerks anymore. And I think the team kind of disbanded and didn't want to play anymore or whatever. I don't really remember the whole reason. So during that time, I had also was playing soccer. And I played soccer for about 2 or 3 years. And there was, I will never forget this guy. He was that big of a jerk towards me, and I had done nothing to him. And he did everything on purpose just so I was miserable as crap. But there is an ironic twist to the story, though. So anyway, I was playing soccer. First year I played, I was cool. Actually, I take that back. The very, very first year was when I was younger, and the coach's daughter and her one friend were always mean towards me, so I really have no idea what that was about, and I swear if somebody comments and makes a joke she had a crush on me, I'm probably going to want to hunt you down like a mud blonde hound and confront you face to face and tell you she was not crushing, she was hating on me. For some reason, the hate was real, and so forth. And as to why she hated me, I don't know. And excuse me if anybody heard that burp. So there was that time. And then later on, as I said, that year I had played, our team was known as the Mustangs, I think. I can't remember. Pretty much like the car. And we were like a maroon red, which was, or crimson red. It was like a really dark red, but you can tell it was red. It was like a maroon or crimson colored red, but anyway, I was cool with that year and everybody was cool with me. And there was this one guy named Daniel, and he was actually him and I were close and real cool. Then there was this other kid named R2, and he was actually really cool with me at one point too. And then later on, I started back playing soccer again, and the guy I still to this day don't like, military or not, I don't like this guy. And, okay, since I said military, I cannot say his name. Although I can say his name started with a P, and that was it. And, he was an absolute jerkwad to the point where, he turned the whole freaking soccer team against me. All the guys but like 1 or 2. And even R2 was playing at one point with us, and they were starting to hang out more, and even R2 was being a jerk to me. And I'm like, what is your deal? And I just, pretty much I was always that guy, in a sense, you can pretty much tell. I was always picked on and always messed with. And I mean, the adults said and did stuff, but it just kept going. They wouldn't stop messing with me. So then at that point, I just stopped playing soccer as well. And I played soccer for a couple of years. And Daniel was on my team as well, those couple different times. And him and I were really cool. And also, on the ironic note, he turned all the guys against me except for 1 or 2, like I said, but the whole all the girls, they wouldn't go for what he was selling, so the girls were cool with me, and he was just getting most of the guys to turn on me for some reason. I didn't even hardly know him. He was just, I don't know, made me a target. And so, on an ironic note, not only was he on my soccer team, he ended up going to the same church as me. Double friggin' whammy. Like that. So I had to deal with him at a church that I had gone to all my life. And not only did it start on the soccer team, it started occurring in my own frickin' youth group. Now, if you're a youth pastor, you should be the one responsible if anything bully-wise occurs or happens, and it continued there as well, and he said and did stuff to make me react. And I did react a few times, and a couple adults said something to me. Not to him, to me. Like, are you serious right now? And he constantly did it just to be a whatever. So I don't know what the kid's problem was, but he just really hated my guts. I mean, he was fickle, too. He would act like my friend at first, and then when he gets with these other kids, I'm pretty much the retarded kid of the group. And note, I say retarded. I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm just trying to make a point. So, there's that. I still don't like him. And supposedly he went to the military. As I said, I really don't give a crap. You can go into the military, but you're still going to act different. I'm sure you think you know everything. You're cocky, high-headed, headstrong, etc., etc. And I know this is really bad for me bashing on troops like this, but I'm just saying from my experience, and I've dealt with this with people that's young like me and has that thick head thinking they're all that until somebody comes around and gives them the beatdown of their lives that puts the message in, you're not all that. You're not everything you think you are. You are just an average person who lives an average life. Now, if I do get hate for that, I apologize. I am just telling you about a specific person that I did not get along with, and this person just constantly just did stuff to make me look like I was an idiot, or to make me feel less of myself or whatever. So then when all that was going on, other kids just started messing with me there as well, and even when he wasn't around, they were just rude and being really mean to me, and it was always me. Everybody, even at my own youth group that I'd gone to forever, and there were just new kids joining that were just, they were just heartless. There was just no goodness to them whatsoever. And when we'd go on like VBS trips, I remember a time when in Weirton, West Virginia, me and a few kids and our youth leader took us to these like lower rated apartments, or not apartments, but there were apartments, but not here. To like a little hangout place for kids with no money would go to and hang out, like a BBS daycare place or whatever you would call it. And we were the light to them. We were their happiness. We were their summer vacation for a week. And there were a couple times when I was asked to go with certain people. I was going, and then there was this one other guy, Tyler, not my Tyler, different Tyler, just stopped me and said, "We have enough people. We don't need you." And I'm like, I was told to come with you guys. Then he got all serious with me and just like grabbed my arm or whatever and said, "Do not go. We do not need you." Like, what is your deal? Why do you guys hate me so much or don't like me? So there was that. And then there was also a time where as I said, there were these apartments, but they were located in Cedarville University. This was later on. And there was this other kid named Thomas. And him and I were cool at one point. And then, just for some reason, and we ended up getting bunked together, which was alright. But I was disappointed because a couple other of my friends that I really liked, I wanted to get bunked with. I didn't get bunked with, unfortunately. Pretty much, he treated me like dirt. He really did. Like, I was trying to be goofy with him. This is when I was like 14 or 15, I think, and he was like 17 or 18. And as an older kid, you're to be a role model and to be a good inspiration. Not for this idiot. Heck no. I was just being goofy with him. He was laying down. I was just trying to be funny, like, wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. And I was just being cute, being funny. That's just me. That's my personality. That's the personality you see behind and in front of the camera. Literally. So, I was doing that, then all of a sudden he just elbowed me right in the face and, like, somewhat broke my nose, and I had to, like, do that trick with your hands you put together, clap your nose, and, like, shifting your nose till it's right. And I never got an apology for that. He did it on purpose to be a dirtbag. So, there was that. Second incident. We were all going to Sonic as a group because we usually went out to eat somewhere fancy, and the youth minister usually took care of the bill and everything, and because we also had to pay to go on this trip, so they used the money we paid to do all that. We were going there, and then whatever, I was just ended up sitting right beside him, unfortunately. I was looking down at his phone because I was wondering what the time was. I didn't have mine on me. I don't know where it was at the time, but then when he saw I was looking at his phone, he just started, like, smacking the crap out of me until my arm was, like, cherry red, and he just laughed about it and was, like, he found it funny and he said, like, I thought you were trying to look at my messages. It's like, being a smart aleck. It's just, I just got really quiet, and like I said, or may not have said in my last video, I went through a lot of the abuse. That part I did tell you. And because of everything that happened to me, I have slight PTSD. So if anybody screams or hollers at me, or just hits on me for no reason, on purpose, deliberately, and then laugh about it, I get flashbacks from that. I really do, because of all the crap I had went through as a kid. And when people do that, or if I get screamed at or anything, I'm pretty much going to freeze up like a timid little kid and just stand there, just be quiet, and have this really, really messed up look on my face. And not people get that and understand. And I don't even tell many people this. I do have the PTSD to an extent, as I said. So there's that. So then when he did that to me, I was just getting flashbacks of stuff that had happened. And just, so when that happens, I have the tendency to, like, go off somewhere by myself and just start breaking down in tears because of all the pain I had been going through and was going through. And just the bullying, the abuse, and all that, it all adds up, and I bottle it all up, and I never talk to anybody about it, hardly ever. If I do, that person is somebody I really do trust and to talk with about it. And when I start feeling that the flashback urges and stuff like that. My voice starts getting very stuttery and timid, and I start shaking really bad, like I got, like I'm having a seizure. I'll just start shaking out of control, and I literally have to force myself to get a grip and stop shaking so I can function right, and sometimes that don't always work. And like I said, I bawl my eyes out because of that stuff. And I've had a few people scream and belittle me here lately, so of course, yeah, I get flashbacks. I get reminded of all the crap I went through as a kid because of all that crap. So, there's that. And then, you also have, for me, as I said, I broke down like a sobbing baby, or like a sobbing little preschooler who got hurt on a playground. That is what I turn into, is just sobbing because of how painful the memories are and the thoughts being reminded and brought back to me. And it's just one of my triggers, and that's something I really try not to let people know about because I just don't want them knowing. But hey, I'm telling you guys because I feel comfortable enough, ironically comfortable enough, to share it with you guys, knowing this is YouTube. No one's really going to give a crap, but you're listening, and yet you're wondering if this is all true or not. So that's for you to figure out. And I've already made this clear. I'm not trying to seek attention. I'm just trying to tell you guys my life history. I'm not seeking attention. I just want to tell you guys about my life. And I don't want people feeling sorry for me or feeling guilty because I had such a poor life. So, there was that. And when I was bawling, I literally hid behind the van that we were all in, because we had like 2 or 3 vans, one for the guys, one for the girls. And I was sobbing up a storm, and my youth leader was wondering what was wrong. I told her what was wrong, and she didn't do anything about it. She just got up and watched. All she was concerned about was me getting something to eat, and I told her I wasn't hungry. I don't want to eat. She said, that's fine, but at least come sit with us. And I was starting to calm down. I was just being really quiet because, of course, I'm just really quiet to myself. I just don't want to talk because I know someone starts talking to me and I'm still in that mood. I can't get that stuff off my mind. I'm going to blow up. I will blow up on you. I don't care who you are. You will get crap from me. And it would not be on purpose. It'd just be out of instinct, reaction. Because my head is not all there yet. It's still screwed up. So anyway, I went and sat down, or actually I was standing, and then today I was actually, or this is relevant to the story. Today I actually got to hang out with my best friend, who is literally like the older brother I wish I had had. And his name is Josh. Or, ironically, my oldest brother's name is Josh, but this is a different Josh. And ironically, I really wish he was my brother, biological brother. He's that awesome. Anybody would be lucky to have him in his life. And boy, am I still lucky to have him. He's literally like my closest, best positive influence of a friend. I just wouldn't ever want to let him go or do him wrong. So that's not me. I don't do people wrong. I do what I can to help others. So anyway, I got to hang out with him today, and we got to talk about a lot of stuff. That'll be the story for another time, but back to the main story. Josh was at camp with us, was one of the guys I wanted bunked with, but didn't get to be. He wondered, or pretty much noticed something was wrong, and I told him, and he wasn't too happy about it either. But then, as I said, the positive influence, he was saying and telling me about stuff he knew made me happy, and I just started forgetting the fact I was hurting, and I just started laughing and becoming very cheery and happy beside him. And then he talked me into getting some food, and I'm like, all right, I'll eat. And he's like, all right, JP. Because also in my youth group, everybody addressed me as JP because of J. Pritt. They just addressed me as JP for short. And still to this day, certain friends that I did have in that church still call me JP to this day. And he's one of them, which is cool. So anyway, he was the big help for that day that got me off that stuff off my mind. But later on, this was a trip after or before, my other friend that I was really close with, he has, I won't say his name, he has medical issues as well, and it starts with a C, that's all I'm going to say. He, I guess, blood sugar was too low or whatever, and he just started getting, like, agitated or irritated very easily, and me being stupid and playful, of course, we all got cake and ice cream because it was the last day that we were supposed to be at the Cedarville apartments, or Rones apartments, and we were sitting around all eating cake and ice cream, and I had icing on my finger, and I was looking at him with like a really rotten face. He's like, don't you dare, and I just like barely dabbed his elbow, and he just like punched me, like not hard enough, but enough to the point where I felt it, and he's like, I'm sorry, man, but you take things way too far at times. And then, after that happened, I ended up breaking down very, very, very bad. And it was somewhat of a scene. I just went to the side and started... And his mom, ironically, saw that something was wrong with me, and I just started breaking down. I told her what had happened. I was just not in a good mood at all. From that point, then... He tried to apologize afterwards. I can't remember what was exactly said, but anyway, that happened. And I don't know if anything was done about it or not, but anyway, to the main point, last thing that happened. On the way back home, everybody was just all laughs and giggles, and of course you always have that one pastor's child who thinks they're all that, and a uptight, spoiled brat that needs smacked upside the head. They're big of a jerk, in other words. She was a female dog, pretty much, straight up. She was a jerk. And then everybody was taking pictures, of course, and then I took a picture, because of course I like taking pictures. So I took a picture of her when she was doing something goofy, and she's like, delete it, I want you to delete it. And then when I wouldn't delete it, she ended up getting one of the youth leaders on my back saying, delete it right now, and I just, after all the stuff that happened, my mind state was not the best place, so I just napped. And then one of the kids that we took back with us from Rones was also asking me if I deleted it on purpose, because he knew it bugged me, and he even took my phone and tried getting into my gallery to delete it. I'm like, are you, certain words, serious? And it's just, I was so mind blown because of this brat, teenage brat that needs whatever. I don't even think there's even a word for it. They were all concerned about precious little uptight missy bratty cunt. Okay, exclude that last word. That's pretty much what she was, but that all happened. So, and also, I was chosen 1 out of 4 kids to attend SLU, which is Student Leadership University, which is a very big deal, and there's 4 different levels of it. I ended up going to 101, and I also took a picture there with a group of kids, and Tyler was there, unfortunately, with his girlfriend and then his cousin. We were the 4 chosen, and I ended up taking pictures of them, and then I showed one girl, the picture, and she deleted it. I'm like, where'd the picture go? And she's like, I deleted it. And then my mom was not happy that they did that, and she got into it, and then Tyler got smart and said, well, he didn't ask for our permission. And then he said it in the most smart aleck way possible, and she was about ready to flip out. It's just, I've just been mistreated and disliked by so many people, it turns my stomach over because I've done nothing to you to deserve that hurt and pain. Alright, but anyway, the recording's about to be done within a minute, so main point to this story was I was always being picked on, always shoved aside, tossed aside, mistreated, and nobody ever did anything to help me out. Nobody really had my back except for Josh, like I said. But anyway, hopefully this video tells you guys a bit more about my life and what I went through, and what didn't kill me made me somewhat not stronger, but strong in a way. There's a controversy there. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and part 3 will be up sometime tomorrow, probably. Be safe and have a happy week. Or weekend, since it's Friday. Later, guys. J. Leah Myers, Hidden Angel Lionheart, signing out.